2001, an extensive survey on this social ill was conducted by the International Labour Organization under its international program on the elimination of child labor. The study found children between the ages of 5 and 17 working as farm laborers. Work is contractual, and it stops for at least 4 consecutive months in a year. And so, before work runs out, everyone in the family, including children, must work to maximize the family's earning. The study in fact reveals that of the 2.1 million children aged 5 to 17 in Western Visayas, only 15.6% are working. However, the figure becomes staggering in actual head count. But even more telling is the insight that the majority of these child laborers are between the ages of 15 and 17. This is logical. Most of the working children surveyed by the study work in farms where physical strength is required. The demands of physical labor, coupled with the need for families to earn so much before work runs out, combine to make children between 15 and 17 the obvious source of additional labor. Moreover, by their physical appearance, these children easily blend with older workers and so cannot be easily detected by child labor intervention efforts. And because they are of high school age, school expenses are more prohibitive. Thus, the decision to drop out of school and work in the farm becomes a logical option. Of the 6 provinces in Western Visayas, Negros Occidental, with its vast sugarcane plantations, hosts the largest number of working children aged 15 to 17. In 2006, the International Labour Organization teamed up with the Sugar Industry Foundation Incorporated to implement intervention measures in Western Visayas, especially where they are most needed, here in the province of Negros Occidental. Organized in 1971, CIFI is a foundation where sugar farmers, owners of sugar mills, and representatives of farm laborers come together to address socio-economic concerns facing workers on the field. With decades of experience in socio-economic intervention and knowledge of the industry and the culture of its people, CIFI sought to implement an intervention program based on the findings of the ILO-IPEC study. In the end, over 80 working children aged 15 to 17 were given technical skills training. Over 20 children of farm workers were granted college scholarships, and over 100 members of families working in sugarcane farms underwent seminars to enhance their business skills. The following case studies represent the typical recipients of the child labor intervention efforts of the ILO and CIFI. Rudy Cervantes was 15 years old when the ILO-IPEC survey was conducted. Like many other kids in the farm, Rudy is a high school dropout, choosing to leave the campus for the sugarcane field to augment his family's meager income. Rudy is the 5th of 7 children born to Federico and Gloria Cervantes. He lives with his family in a sugar farm in the town of Binalbagan, where his father is a farm laborer. 2 older sisters have married and now have their own families to take care of. Meanwhile, 2 older brothers who moved to Manila, the capital of the country, in the hope of finding good fortune to help the family back home, were met with bad luck.
My 2 older brothers, Richard and Ralji, went to Manila because we were so poor here in Negros. On March 10, 2005, at the Pasig River, a boat capsized. Ralji saw the boat turned over. He immediately jumped into the water to help the passengers. Later, my other brother Richard arrived and learned that Ralji had jumped into the river, so Richard followed to help. Moments later, they were seen in the middle of the river, holding each other. They went down and they never came back up.
That was the turning point for Rudy. Suddenly, he was the eldest unmarried child and so must live up to the duty of helping to provide for the younger ones. And working the farm was the only way Rudy knew how. But now, with a younger sister in college and a younger brother about to enter high school, working as a farm laborer will no longer be enough. Rudy feared that if he only stayed in the farm, one or both of his siblings would be forced to quit school. At his young age, Rudy understands his critical family role quite well.
I joined the CFI and ILO training because I don't want to work in the farm anymore, and so that I can look for other jobs. This way I can help my parents, especially since my two older brothers are already gone.
In July 2006, Rudy attended a 15-day skills training seminar organized by the ILO and CFI. He underwent training in automotive repair, particularly in under-chassis work and tire repair. Immediately after the training, Rudy was placed by CFI on a 75-day on-the-job training at Urban, a company that leases heavy equipment for construction work. Urban is based in Bacolod City, the capital of the province. With an excitement for learning and a hunger for a better future, after the training, Rudy was immediately hired by Urban as a mechanic assistant.
Since Rudy started his training, he showed great interest. In my observation, Rudy's development and progress in his work is better than those of others. He is very industrious. When it comes to his traits and habits, Rudy is the best. And he is very interested in the job. He has good relationships with his co-workers. Rudy has been trained in vulcanizing. He helps in overhauling machines. He has experience in all sorts of tasks. Rudy really has a future. In the next few years, I think he can already make it. He will be a real mechanic.
Now gainfully employed, Rudy relishes sending money back to his parents for the schooling of his younger sister and brother. The ILO-IPEC study brings more bad news about children between the ages of 15 and 17. They comprise close to 70% of all working children who have dropped out of school. And while only 4,000 of all working children did not finish any grade level at all of them, all 4,000 of them, are aged 15 to 17. With little or no education, boys grow up to become farm laborers, while girls move to the big city, working either as sales girls in retail stores or as housemaids in private residences. Over 40% of these sales girls and close to 80% of these housemaids are between the ages of 15 and 17. These numbers beg for intervention. Asked why she chose jewelry making over food processing or dressmaking, Joy Lito admits she has a passion for things that sparkle. Perhaps that's because spark has been missing in Joy's life.
Hilo na kami sang akon manghod.
My younger brother and I are already orphans. My father died when I was 2 years old. My mother died when I was 15. After my father died, my mother remarried and moved to another place. And so, we grew up with our grandfather and grandmother.
Joy is 17 years old and a third-year high school dropout, together with her 15-year-old brother, also a dropout, and their 3-year-old cousin. Joy lives with her grandparents in a farm in La Carlota City.
Gin-recruit ko nga maubra sa Iloilo.
I was recruited to work in Iloilo City to watch over 2 little children. I didn't last long there, only 2 months, because I couldn't handle the job. So I went back to Bacolod and sold dumplings. I also didn't stay long doing that because my grandmother picked me up to watch over my little cousin.
It was around this time that Joy learned of a seminar on jewelry making organized by the ILO and SIFI. In March 2006, she joined the 5-day seminar, in the process learning how to make necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. They were provided materials for the class. Joy made quite a few pieces of jewelry, and she sold them all, each sparkling set fetching between 80 pesos to 150 pesos. Out of that initial effort, Joy was able to roll over her earnings, buying more materials for more jewelry to sell. Joy has truly found her passion and talent for jewelry making.
Kag subong may gamay na ko nga ni.
Now I have a small business even though I didn't finish school. I am so thankful to SIFI and ILO.
In this intervention project, SIFI also set out to provide college scholarships to 20 children of farm laborers. 20 scholarships may be a drop in the bucket, but every single child granted a scholarship is one more shining hope for a better future. Jomar Subiron is 21 years old. He lives with his family in a sugar farm in La Carlota City. Jomar was a bright boy in high school, graduating as one of the top students in his class. But after a year in college, he was forced to quit school.
Pinanami ako subject ng English kag
My favorite subjects are English and science. When I was in first year high school, I got the 4th honor in class. In second year, I got 3rd. In third year, I got 2nd honors. And in my 4th year, I was a salutatorian when I graduated. I also joined a lot of activities like the Supreme Student Government. I ran for governor when I was in 4th year. And in our class, I was also president. My classmates elected me because they probably saw that I was deserving to be their class president. When I graduated from high school, I was offered a 1-year scholarship because I was a salutatorian. I took up BSIT, Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. But after 1 year, we didn't have money for my tuition anymore, so I dropped out of school. I have a lot of younger siblings still studying. They haven't finished high school, so I decided to let them go to school first.
And so, Jomar dropped out of college. In the next 4 years, he would work as a farm laborer, doing a variety of contractual jobs just like his father, Rolando. At 50, Rolando and his wife Milagros have 7 children ranging in age from 11 to 26. Jomar is the middle child. The 3 eldest children are also farm laborers, while the 3 younger girls are in school. With a scholarship from SIFI, Jomar will become the family's first college graduate.
March 2006
In March 2006, I was recruited to join the training in a tractor operation. And so I joined, since I was also not doing anything. But I also joined to gain more experience. The training was sponsored by SIFI and ILO. At the training, the teachers discovered that my grades were very high. They asked me why I didn't proceed to college. I told them we have no money. After the training, they asked me to go to SIFI and apply for a scholarship.
For many like Jomar, going to school has to be sustainable, and so he enrolled in a college nearby to avoid higher living expenses that could come with schooling in the big city.
dako gidang kalipay ko sa bungay.
I am so happy now because I have continued my studies. so that I can realize all my hopes and all my dreams. I am so thankful to ILO and CFI for the help they gave me through the scholarship
Bigyan ko na pilakad lang ako.
and for the chance to help my parents improve our lives in the future.
Paguswag sa mga buhay mo naman.
Child labor, including the tendency of children to drop out of school, is tightly linked to the economic welfare of the entire household to which the child belongs. For starters, the ILO-IPEC survey tells us that the most popular reason why children quit school and work is to augment the family income. Just how is the typical household with working children doing? The study points to a hand-to-mouth existence. Almost all of the households with working children earn below 10,000 pesos a month, and an even higher percentage, though just slightly higher, spend all that. This is not surprising, even under humble living conditions. A large majority of these households have at least 5 members. Thousands of them even have 10 or more. That means 8 or more children per household, 8 or more potential school dropouts, 8 or more potential child laborers per family. Child labor augments family income. For any intervention program to be successful, therefore, it must be able to help replace the income the family derives from child labor. Otherwise, no skills training and no college scholarship will work. It was vital, therefore, that the ILO and CFI organize business training seminars that would help families start a small business or improve an existing one. Over 100 family members came to listen and learn. Agustin Nagret, who, with his wife Lucia, has 4 school-age children, attended one of these seminars. At 42, Agustin is a farm laborer in the town of Binalbagan. Wife Lucia divides her time between dressmaking and babysitting their youngest child.
May apat ako ka kabataan, 2 ka babae.
I have 4 children, 2 girls and 2 boys. Almira Jin, the eldest, is in grade 6. She is 11 years old. My second child is a boy. His name is Aldrin Nagaret. He is in grade 4 now. My third child is in grade 1. Her name is Chrisamay Nagaret. She is 7 years old. And our fourth child is Aljumar Nagaret. He is 1 year old. My children are all in the honor rolls. They have plenty of medals. I didn't finish school, so I don't want that what happened to me will also happen to my children. I want that all of my children will finish school. They should not follow me.
Like many others, Agustin knows that his income as a farm laborer is not enough to keep their 4 children in school. Luckily for Agustin, in 1999, the owner of the farm where he works loaned him a parcel of land, and this is how he started his vegetable garden. Since then, 2 more parcels of land were leased. Today, Agustin plants an assortment of vegetables in a total area of close to 1 acre. Agustin is happy with his vegetable garden, but without knowledge of record keeping, he doesn't seem to know how much his potential earnings are and how much he is actually spending. And because he still attends to his duties as a farm laborer, Agustin has to hire workers for his garden, from carabao plowing to watering to weeding, even to harvesting. It was only when Agustin was interviewed for the seminar that he began to realize that his humble vegetable garden would actually become big business. Based on data he provided, Agustin can earn additional income amounting to thousands of pesos each year. Additional income he needs to keep his children in school.
Nag-intra ako pag seminar sa CP kag ILO.
I joined the seminar of CFI and ILO because I want to improve and earn more from my vegetable garden. You see, I plan to buy a Carabao, an irrigation motor, and something that my wife has been asking for, a sewing machine.
With some business training, Agustin will realize his potential earnings, budget his funds, and manage his cash flow. Along the way, putting aside some money for a Carabao, an irrigation motor, and a sewing machine for Lucia.
Nagpasalamat gid ako.
I have learned a lot of things from the business seminar. I thank CFI and ILO because of the big help that they have given me through that business seminar. I'm sure with what I learned, I can now improve my vegetable garden.
Child labor is a complex and deep-seated social problem. It thrives on so many excuses. It is spread out through so many age groups. And its consequences are diverse and debilitating, especially to human dignity. Child labor in the sugar industry of the Philippines is as old as the industry itself. It is so ingrained in the local culture. Because of this, it requires a comprehensive and continuing intervention, such as the efforts of the ILO and CFI. The famous American Senator Hillary Clinton once said that it takes a village to raise a child. If that were true, then bringing up hundreds of thousands of child laborers must deserve the empathy, generosity, and understanding of an entire global community.
Underaged, underemployed, underpaid, undernourished. They are the underprivileged, crying to be understood.